Live, local, now. WTOC starts with breaking news.
Well, thank you for watching the news at Daybreak. I'm Cyria Sandlin.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. We're still following breaking news of a shooting that led to a deadly car chase that happened overnight in downtown Savannah. 3
people dead in that crash and several injured in that shooting. We have team coverage this morning with Jarvis Robertson and Tasia Reed, both downtown.
All right, we're going to begin with Tasia, who is live near City Market where that crash happened. Tasia, any updates?
Well, right now, still very active scene. Savannah Fire has left the scene. They kind of sprayed down the wall, kind of make sure that there was no toxic things on the ground there. But I'm going to show you the scene behind me there. You can see Savannah County Metro Police still kind of guarding the area. This is where the crash happened here at Barnard and Bay, right by the Five Guys. As you can see here, they have a light pole down there, trash cans down as well. Still an active scene, not as active as it was earlier, obviously, but still several police out here monitoring the scene, trying to get more information. Now, I did talk with one witness who said that he was working in City Market when this happened. He said he heard what he thought was fireworks, but it turned out to actually be gunshots. Listen to what he had to say.
We're going to head now to Jarvis, who is also downtown on Bay Street.
We saw that car being towed earlier. Now the roads are back open. Any updates so far about the shooting, Jarvis?
Breaking news we are following out of New York City. A police officer has died after being shot while inside of her car. Here are some live pictures right now from the scene. This happened around 12:30 overnight while the officer and her partner were on patrol in the Bronx. Police say the gunman walked up to the officer's car and opened fire. Officers were able to chase the gunman a block away where he was shot and killed. Another officer is being treated for trauma.
Thousands of people converging on the Savannah River waterfront last night, getting a night filled with food, music, and more. Of course, ending with that spectacular fireworks show. There was plenty of food, music for all who came out to enjoy the festivities here on River Street. And as the sun went down and the fireworks show was about to start, many reflected on the meaning of the holiday.
So my dad was in the Air Force and my mom is from the Philippines, so just celebrating freedom of our country.
We just wanted a quick getaway, and Savannah's always shown us nothing but love with all the food, entertainment, so we just decided to come down for a couple of days.
Police had the downtown area split into zones for coverage. Unfortunately, well, this was all before the incident of that shooting that we just told you about. Well, if you shot off your own fireworks, there are a few safety tips you need to be aware of. Make sure you wet the fireworks that you use before you throw them away. If you have any unused fireworks, soak them in water for 24 hours before tossing them. Keep your trash can away from your house or any structure, and don't burn any used or old fireworks.
Well, heading to Hilton Head Island now, where many people were on the beach celebrating the 4th of July. There was not a high risk for whip currents. However, emergency responders took a lot of calls related to heat exhaustion. Hilton Head Hospital cited a higher volume of emergencies this year compared to the same time last year.
People get away on vacation and they stop thinking about hydrating. You know, maybe they go for a run later in the day than they normally would, and they're not used to this heat and humidity. So we always have a few calls for heat exhaustion.
Well, Fire and Rescue say it responded to Coligny Beach twice yesterday, once for a stingray puncture, another for heat exhaustion.
In Atlanta, more than 60,000 proud and patriotic runners kicked off the holiday by running in the Peachtree Road Race. It's considered the largest 10K race in the world. For the first time this year, the race included 4 security checkpoints in the finish area and in different spots along the course. A red alert was also in place because of all the heat, but that didn't stop people from enjoying themselves.
I love it every year. You're gonna make me cry. Yeah, I love it.
My name is Al. This is my 8th Peachtree. These are my sons. This is his third, and that's his second right there. This has now become a family tradition for us. Come out here and run a race on the 4th, baby.
One of the 60,000 runners was our very own Elizabeth Rollins, and cheering on all those runners were about 150,000 spectators.
Go Elizabeth. Well, a new escalation in the threat from North Korea. U.S. officials now confirm the country did launch an interballistic missile. We'll tell you what exactly this means and how our leaders are responding.
And could the results from the most expensive House race in U.S. history be null and void? We'll explain when the news at Daybreak continues.
Live, local, now. This is the news at Daybreak.
Georgia Ports officially breaks ground on a new rail expansion at the Port of Savannah. Our Zach Logan was at that groundbreaking and joins us live with a look at how this project is even catching the attention from those in Washington.
Plus, expect to see a new question on the census in 2020. We'll tell you why some states have decided to file suit and how the administration is responding. 7 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thanks for watching the news at Daybreak. I'm Cyria Sandlin.
And good morning. I'm Russ Riesinger. Time now to take a live look outside from the WTOC Beaufort Memorial Skycam. It's a dry and foggy start in some parts of the area this morning, but we are expecting quite the warm-up in the forecast.
I'm
The rail terminal by the Georgia Ports Authority is now underway that will benefit both the ports of Savannah and drivers in the area. A live look at traffic right now from on I-16 from our WTOC studio Skycam. For drivers, the mega rail project will lessen traffic in the area and will cut down on the number of semis that you share the road with. Could also mean fewer rail crossings on roads, and you'll start to see results from the project by the fall of 2019.
That's right, and we want to know, how is this project going to help major ports, specifically ours?
Well, our Zach Logan was there at the Georgia Ports Authority when they celebrated the start of that project yesterday, and he's live near the Savannah River with more on this. And Zach, this is big news for Savannah.
Attorney tells WTOC 6 lawsuits have been filed against Rogue Water Tap House after 14 people were injured by a falling deck on St. Patrick's Day. Now, we're getting a look at the chaos from the moment first responders arrived on the scene, along with what a lawyer calls insensitivity by the bar. That lawyer, Jeremy McKenzie, says the deck was easily a hazard. According to the lawsuit, the bar failed to maintain or repair the deck or otherwise warn its customers of dangerous conditions.
It shows you that they were more motivated by the getting of money than they were or were concerned about the safety of the people they were actually taking that money from. I think it speaks volumes to what they really cared about, and I think it's going to be something that's a determining factor in this case.
McKenzie adds, under Georgia law, businesses are responsible for the safety of every customer. For now, the bar is still open.
Well, during the St. Patrick's weekend, a teenager tackled a Savannah cop for tasing and arresting his brother. You might remember this video of the incident making the rounds on social media. Right now, another angle of the encounter is putting some context to the scene. WTOC was able to get a hold of the officer's body cam video. As officers attempted to handcuff 22-year-old James Patry, he refused arrest. That's when he began kicking an officer in the knee. In the police report, the officer says the brother could have caused great bodily harm or even death to the officer. Both are now facing 2 misdemeanor charges for swimming in the Savannah River and reckless conduct, plus felony charges now for assaulting a police officer.
Well, today, former Georgia Governor and U.S. Senator Zell Miller will be honored with an executive state funeral in Atlanta. Let's take a look at some of the video from the service yesterday, where 3 former presidents, along with Georgia Governor Nathan Deal, appeared together to honor Miller. He died Friday at his home in Young Harris at the age of 86. Governor Deal and several of his predecessors will speak at today's service.
The chief of police at Savannah State University has been placed on administrative leave with pay. University officials say that Chief James Barnwell was placed on leave Friday while the institution conducts an internal investigation. The university would not release any other details about the investigation or the reason for putting Chief Barnwell on administrative leave because it is a personal matter.
California and New York are among the states now suing the Trump administration over a new question in the upcoming 2020 census. Now, the Commerce Department revealed the census will ask about citizenship status. Now, the New York Attorney General says he is leading a multi-state lawsuit. New Jersey says it will also join. If non-citizen immigrants fear entering the census survey, critics say there will be an inaccurate picture of who's really in our country. Leaders from states with a smaller proportion of non-citizens say the change could help them gain congressional seats.
If you actually did redistricting based on the number of citizens, states in the Rust Belt, would not have lost as much representation in Washington because we count based on number of people.
The citizenship question has not been on the full census since the 1950s, but does appear on the yearly American Community Survey. That survey is sent to about 2 to 3% of the population each year.
California woman made a wrong turn on her way to work and became stranded after running out of gas on a snowy mountain. Now, this is a picture of Cheryl Donovan's SUV in the spot where she sat inside it for 10 days. Now, her daughter says that her mother used extra clothes in the car to keep from freezing and only had a single bottle of water with her the whole 10 days she was missing.
She did sparsely drink that, so she took her time on exhausting the one bottle of water that she did have. She did eat some snow.
And we're really happy that it turned out a different way.
Donovan's daughter says her mother was finally located when she got out of her SUV and walked a mile to find a road where a Good Samaritan stopped to help her. Sheriff's deputies say the woman's SUV is still stuck in all the snow that's out there, and they hope to finally be able to retrieve it soon.
On Skidaway Island want to become their own city. What first must be considered before this can become a reality?
Plus, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un traveling to China for a historic meeting with its president. More on what they talked about when the News at Daybreak continues.